that a little better?
No, it's the same.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. Because I can hear you
Okay, that's
fine on
better.
my end.
Yeah, that works again. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Let's see. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. So you were saying I was just pointing out because you not achieving your goals is that funny, Janice?
Is it funny? No, it's not,
Yeah.
obviously. I laugh because it's not funny, more or less, like it just
Mhm.
haven't been able to do anything about it really. And I've been going through a lot
Yeah.
at home, just stress-wise. Just my mother got sick this last year, like 8 months. So I have some added stress with less
Okay.
time to get my, to even
I
try
see.
to lose weight. So that hasn't helped.
Right. I mean, of course, it's a bit difficult when, your mother, parent gets sick. However, this sounds like it's been going on for at least a couple of decades. So it's not just something recent. Okay.
No, it's
So
not recent.
even
No.
yeah, even if your metabolism is damaged, or even if you're growing older, those are just the cards that you're dealt, right? So
Yep.
even if do you still think there is, or there was a possibility for you to keep dropping the weight and keep it off, even if you had the metabolism, you are getting older, and um, things just go that way?
I guess I don't want. I don't quite understand the question. Say it
So
again.
my question was, sure. My question was, let me phrase it a bit clearer. When was the last time you were at 130? You said
Oh.
when you got married. How long ago was that?
Oh, that's a long time ago. That's like 25 years ago. A long time ago. It was like I was like
Ago.
maybe 30, maybe 15 years ago.
Okay. And in these past 25 years, what have you tried specifically to lose the weight? More so in
Whatever.
terms of the nutrition and diet approach.
Nutrition. Just watching what I eat, tracking what I'm eating. Tracking my calories, things like that. Eating healthier. That's about it.
Okay.
And then
What
on top
typically
of it,
happening? Yeah. On top of
No.
it, was it exercise or stuff like
Yeah,
that?
a little
Yeah.
exercise.
Yeah. The reason I was asking about um, nutrition is because nutrition accounts for 85% of the weight loss results. Exercise does help, of course, but it's a smaller amount. And you also mentioned a
I've
little
learned
exercise.
that too. I've learned that over
Yeah.
the time. That's why tracking my calories was more important than exercise.
Yeah.
Probably when I
And you
was
also
eating
mentioned.
it better.
You also mentioned a little exercise. So does that mean that even with nutrition, you weren't potentially fully consistent?
No, it was more like walking and, maybe a couple little exercise videos, more walking than anything
Yeah.
else. And I was pretty consistent. I mean, I would do it 3 or 4 times a week, definitely, sometimes more. I have,
I mean,
as long as it.
Sure. In terms of nutrition as well, would you say that you have potentially not been consistent 100% of the time?
Well, now I'm not, no. But, I mean, if I'm on a diet, I try to be, but.
Okay. When you say you try to be, does that mean like you're not 100%? Because trying and being are two different things.
Well, I would say, maybe I'm 75%, not 100% or something. I'm doing well, but
Yeah, you keep cutting a few corners here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So do you feel that if you do not become 100% consistent, Janice, do you feel you have a chance at dropping the weight to really the ideal 130 and also staying there, given the fact that you haven't been inconsistent so far and that hasn't worked out?
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, that's why I'm trying something different, totally different than what I've been doing because it's not working. So,
Mhm. Okay. And the the moon drops are definitely gonna give you a boost. However, do you want to keep taking supplements for the rest of your life, or were you more looking for a holistic lifestyle change to keep the results and keep the weight off as well for the rest of your life?
um, I mean, I don't really want to take supplements the rest of my life. I mean, I don't mind taking them here and there if it helps. You know what I mean? Um, but I don't like to be
Mm-hmm.
reliant on stuff, obviously. Um,
Yeah. So you have two hearts to choose from, Janice. One of them is actually being consistent now, even if it's harder, so you can get down to 130 and then learn to maintain that
yeah,
weight. And the other one is to actually hope and wish that things are going to work out and that you'll need to take supplements or rely on external things for the rest of your life, which is
yeah,
also hard, like you said. Which one do you
yeah.
prefer?
I probably prefer the first one,
Hmm.
but
What? Why though? Because so many people would just want the easy option.
well, I just, what do you mean? I guess I don't get what is the first one with supplements to get there at the beginning, or is it? I guess I don't
Sorry,
really understand.
I cannot hear you again. Can
I
you move a
said,
bit around the house,
yeah,
maybe, or
no,
go
I,
outside if it's
yeah,
not too cold?
yeah. Let me get shoes on. The first option, what do you mean by the first option? Is that,
No, I cannot hear you, though, Janice.
hold
Mm.
on, I'm going,
Do you have perhaps
can
another
you hear me?
number or some other number that I can
No,
call you from?
no, can you hear me now better? I'm outside. Is this a little better? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, yeah. Now I can hear
Now you
you,
can hear
but
me?
before that, yeah.
Okay, I'm outside.
Is
Um,
that it? Okay. Is that a
I can,
specific spot that you're standing in? Hopefully.
yeah. Okay, I'll just stay here then. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know. What was the first option again? Is it taking supplements?
So I was asking, why do you wanna actually be consistent and even if it's harder, and get to your ideal weight, 130 rather than hoping for the quick fix for the rest of your life, which really doesn't exist.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. That's the thing. I don't think
Hmm.
there's a quick fix to anything. Um,
Yeah. So why do you want to actually go the harder but sustainable way?
why? Because I want to feel better. I want to have energy. I want to look better. I want to be
Hmm.
healthier. All
Yeah.
the above.
Hmm. I don't really know. That's why I'm asking because I want to understand your particular situation and what's really driving you. So I suppose besides all of these things that you mentioned, Janice, what what has this lack of consistency over the past 25 years costed you?
Costed me? I mean,
Hmm.
like I said, it's more just me feeling better about myself and me being healthy for my kids and being around and
Yeah.
you know that kind of stuff.
Uh
That's
huh.
what it's costed me. I mean, like I said, until now, until probably last year, I was able to kind of lose enough weight. I felt okay in the summers, but then I'd gain it all back and then I'd have to do it over again, every year.
Yeah.
And I was able to do it, but like I said, until last year. Last year it was much more difficult to lose any weight. and I can't seem to
Yeah.
keep
Mhm.
to keep it off in the winter. Like if I could maintain it, it would be different, but it just seems like I lose it and then it comes all back, if not more, and then I have to do it all over again. It's just tough to keep going back and forth.
Sure. Yeah, and
And like
that really comes down to you learning to be consistent, Janice,
yeah,
right? So in terms of in terms of going up and down with your weight, um, what do you feel if you keep being in this cycle into the future? What do you think this in particular is gonna cost you, given the
what's it
fact
gonna
that it has? Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna just like I said, it's just my health and me feeling good. I mean, I want to wear clothes that I like and look better, and I don't know, not too pleased with how I look at the moment. So
Mhm.
that's what it's
Okay.
costing me is, you know,
I see. And
having a
out of
better life.
better life as well. So these are really important points. What I'm really curious, Janice, out of like if you were to really think about it, why is it now that you want to stop this cycle of going up and down, which has been going on for so many years, instead of kicking the can down the road for a couple of months or even more years, so you can finally feel better, show up for yourself
Yeah, I just
and
think
for
I'm
your
at
kids.
that age. Like I said, I mean, it's getting harder for me to lose. So like I always before in my mind was like, oh, give me 2, 3 months and I could lose enough that I'm happy. I
Uh
can't
huh.
do it anymore. My metabolism's too slow or something. It's not as easy, and now it's more of a I need to get down there and try to stay down there so I don't have to you
Yeah.
know, keep stressing about it. And then
Sure.
also, like I said, so I have 2 kids, they're getting older, so I have more me time, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like I need to start thinking about myself because soon my kids will be gone in college and I'm going to eventually retire and eventually want to do more, like travel or whatever, and I'd like to feel better about
Mhm.
myself and not have you know, any
Okay.
qualms about doing stuff because I'm out of shape or this or that, right? Or that I
Got
just
it. Well, what I'm really curious, Janice, because we can touch on each part of everything that you mentioned. Out of out of all the areas of your life which have been impacted by the fact that you have what is that like almost 60 pounds overweight, which one would you say really bothers you the most?
wait, say it again. Sorry. I guess I don't
So
get the question.
yeah,
Well,
out of all the areas in which your um, weight and you being 60 pounds overweight impacts your life, so out of all these areas, which one bothers you the most?
probably the way I look, I would say.
The way you look? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
And
Because I mean, I'm healthier when I'm, but I feel like, I can get healthier but still look like this because like I said, my metabolism doesn't seem to be doing much. So,
yeah,
even if
and
I was to be
like we said,
working and even if I'm like losing a little, like I said, 5 or 10 pounds, I still don't like how I look. You know what I mean? Even if I feel healthier or I feel more energetic,
yeah.
I'm not looking how I want to look still.
Hmm.
So
So
probably
definitely,
that
like
one.
we said, even if the metabolism is a bit choppy itself, the main, like what's more important? Is it your consistency or is it the metabolism?
Wait, say it again. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I guess
what's more important? Is it what's more important? Is it consistency or your metabolism?
what's I don't really get what does consistency mean? Like staying at my same weight consistently? Is that what you mean? Or
Consistency means doing the right things so you can keep the with your ideal weight.
doing the right things. I don't think I'm the best, and like I said, I mean, I every so often will cut a corner because I like food, so it's not like I
Yeah.
overeat, but like every so often I like a treat. So I don't think consistency is what I'm looking for completely. I can be somewhat consistent, but I mean, I'd rather my metabolism be what it used to be when I could eat whatever, obviously,
Hmm.
which I
So
don't
your
know if that's
metabolism
really
can
possible.
definitely sure. So your metabolism can definitely be uh can definitely have a boost. Like I said, that's
Hmm.
possible. But the main, like, even if your metabolism is better and you keep eating, uh, if you keep eating poorly, what's
Yeah.
gonna happen?
Well, I don't think you're gonna lose the weight you want to lose. I
Do you
mean,
mean me or you?
me, anybody. I mean,
Yeah,
if your metabolism's higher but you're not eating well, you might lose a little because your metabolism's higher, but you're not going to lose what you want probably. I mean,
yeah.
I think you still need to
So
eat healthy. I mean, in general, I just think it's
sure,
good
eating
for you.
healthy is one thing for sure, because you can eat healthy and you can gain weight like a bodybuilder. But we're
Yeah.
talking here about losing weight, which is an entire different thing, right?
Okay.
So are you willing to cut back on a few of the little enjoyments that you have? I'm not saying that you should cut them out completely, but are you willing to cut them out at least partially so you can be consistent and
Yeah,
actually
of
get
course
down to
I am.
one
Yeah, of
thirty.
course.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I mean, I've done that,
Cool.
like I said, but like I said,
But are
I,
you willing to do it long term so you can
yeah, of
actually
course.
stay there?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah? Because it doesn't sound like we're not talking about you just dropping to 150 or 130. We're talking about you staying there because you've already been in this cycle for at least 20 years. I don't think you want any more of that, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Now, you mentioned that the main thing that bothers you is the way that you look, right? When you
Yeah.
look in the mirror, which part of your body bothers you the most?
Of course, it's my belly. Ever since I had kids, I never got rid of that, like belly
Hmm.
bump
Your
thing,
belly?
Yeah. So I think my
I see.
belly and then my legs, but my legs have always been kind of thick. I don't know. I don't know if I have much hope. I mean, I can lose some weight and look better, but
I
that's just
see.
how I'm
And
built
why is it the belly and the legs in particular that bothers you the most?
because those are the biggest parts of me.
Okay, so if they're the biggest ones, okay.
Yeah.
How does um I see. Okay, because they're the biggest ones. Okay, and really, when you look at yourself in the mirror, I know this might be a bit of a direct question. What really goes through your mind when you see the belly, you see the legs that are the biggest parts?
I just hate how they look. I'd rather not even look at them, obviously.
Yeah. So how often do you really look in the mirror if you would rather not look at them?
I don't know. I mean, I look in it to do my hair and stuff, but that's the top of me. I don't really have full length
Yeah,
mirrors where I'm looking all the time at myself.
I see.
That's probably usually more like if I'm getting dressy for something, I might look at myself, if I'm going somewhere
Yeah.
special. But other than that, it's not
Mhm.
like,
And
you know,
that's a really that's a really serious thing that you mentioned, Janice. I mean, you hate those parts. So you hating certain parts of your body. How long has that been going on for?
I I don't know. I mean, for a while, like I said, it's whenever I'm bigger. So in the winters, most winters, like I said,
Yeah.
prior to about a year or two, I was able to kind of lose it in the summer and feel, I wouldn't say I was down to what I wanted, but like, feel at least decent about myself. You know what I mean? But not
Mhm.
anymore. So now it's a lot harder.
Yeah. So how and obviously like you want to not be in that cycle. You want to
Yeah,
stay
stay
consistent no
consistent.
matter
Yeah,
the season.
yeah.
So so far you going through these cycles and like really hating these parts when you look at them in the mirror, how has this feeling, this hate being in your life, how has that shown up in other areas of your life?
I don't know. I don't know what you mean. I don't know. I'm not really one to
Hmm.
really dwell on things, so I'm not, you know. It's
Yeah. But
I
if you were to know, how would you say it has shown up?
in my other parts of my life, like it's just,
Yeah.
it's more what you're willing to accept or not accept. You know what I mean? Like if I have a wedding to go to and stuff, I obviously try to lose weight because I want to look better, right? So it would be a lot nicer if I already was at the weight I wanted and I didn't need to worry about these things, right? Like you worry more about things if you don't look the way you want to look. I don't know
Okay. Well,
if that
what do
makes
you
sense.
worry in particular? Yeah, I'm trying to understand that. Like, what is it that you worry about the most?
Me? What? I mean, I don't worry about myself as much as I worry about my kids and everybody else. You know what I mean? So me, you know, I I worry, like I said, that I can't lose my weight and I'm not going to look good again ever, you know?
Okay. By the way, Jonas, do you know why I'm asking these questions? Because I noticed
No.
you're a bit hesitant in
I don't
answering
like
them, and
talking
I
about
thought,
this stuff.
yeah,
I
I
thought
know.
this was going to be more
Why do you not?
about what I'm going to do about losing weight, not
Sure,
about my
sure,
emotional
sure.
state.
I can explain. Before I do that, why do you not like talking about this though? Just to
Because
see how I can explain it better.
I don't think it matters one way or the other. Like, I mean, I think it
Why not?
matters if someone, well, it matters if you're really dwelling on it, I think, mentally, like if it's unhealthy. I I'm not as unhealthy. I mean, I hate it and I don't like this and that and I want to look better, but I don't, I've other things in my life that are much more important to worry about than
Hmm.
my look.
Okay.
Like I said,
If
I
I
have a
were
sick
to
mother, I have
explain,
kids, I have, a lot of other
yeah,
responsibilities that I have a full-time job, I have a lot of other responsibilities and that's one of the reasons
sure.
why I probably look the way I
Even if
look too.
you, okay, do you think there are women out there who have the same levels of responsibility as you, but they still manage to keep their weight, their ideal weight?
They might, yeah. I am sure they do.
So
Maybe.
what do you
I
think?
mean,
What do you think is one?
I think all
Are
people are
some?
different. I think all people are different. All people are built differently. All people bodies work differently. I mean, some people have
Okay,
the energy.
even if it's sure, even if it's like a mother, a woman who's in your situation has a body very similar to you, because we might be different, but there's still similarities between us. What do you think is the difference between the women who are able to keep their weight and those who don't manage to do that?
I don't know. I
In terms
honestly
of the
don't.
things that are within their control.
I mean, maybe they eat healthier. Maybe they have more water and salads and not as much sugar. I don't know. I mean, but then you see other people that don't eat like that and they still look fine. So who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have an answer to tell you the truth.
Okay. So do you think it actually serves you to look at the people that seem to have it very easy, but they don't do much effort and compare yourself to them? Or is it better to look at what you can do in your own situation?
It's just my own situation. I don't care what other people do. I mean, I wanna,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah.
And you wanted to say something? You
No,
want
that's
to?
it. Nope.
Yeah. Okay. And if I explain to you why it's actually beneficial for you to talk and think about how your weight bothers you, would you be okay with us having a conversation on that if I explain it?
I go ahead. I just, I don't have much more time. I don't know. I didn't know how long this conversation was going to be. I, have work obviously.
It,
So,
yeah, it was
I mean, I thought
so
I was just
it
going to give
typically
you some
takes
information.
45 minutes. Sure. So first of all, just to explain this part, it's I know you mentioned that you don't like to talk about this, right? Do you think
No.
that if you yeah, do you think that if you had a conversation like this 20 or even 25 years ago about how bothersome it is to have the weight on yourself, would that have put you in a better or worse position to
No.
be
I,
consistent and to
I, I
actually
see.
keep the weight off?
I'm not that type of person. Talking and stuff. No. I mean, I know I don't want the weight on me. Back then, I know it. I just,
Hmm.
it's you making your time for yourself. I mean, I was fine before I had kids. Once I had kids and I didn't have a lot of time, things got the best of me, and I have
Yeah.
changed that? Maybe I could have changed that if I was more, if I made more time for myself, you know what I mean, versus my kids. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know about you, but when you
Hmm.
work full time and you're a full time mother and you have two kids that are within 2 years of each other, it's not easy. So like I said, once you have some time, I would lose it, and it wasn't a big deal, like I said, because in the summer is when you want to look better, right? So I'd always be able to lose it.
Okay.
So it never was a big deal to
So,
me until
um,
recently when I've gotten older, and it just doesn't happen as quick.
Janice, what I really want to point out is, let me ask you this: do you want the best chance at keeping the weight off
Yeah,
in the
obviously.
rest
That's
of
why I'm
your life?
trying this.
Okay.
I mean, that's
So
why I'm
if you
trying this. So,
sure. So if you want the best chance, do you want that best chance even if you get busy again? Do you want to prepare for the worst?
yeah. I mean, my life is different
Okay.
now. I have more time, and I don't see that
I know, but
changing.
it, I know you don't see that changing, but in case that changes, do you want to be prepared for that?
Obviously, I do, yes.
Okay.
But
So
I think it's more of a
does it
commitment for myself. Whatever makes me lose weight and I stay, I got to stay with it. I mean, that's on me.
exactly? Yeah, that's one thing, but also, does it help you to does it help you to think that it's not, to blame other factors, external factors, and that is
No, I
work
don't think.
or yeah,
Nope.
it doesn't.
Nope.
Okay. So it's more, so we can agree that more beneficial to actually um, it's more beneficial to actually take ownership, right?
Yeah.
That it is okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And going back to what you mentioned before, I know you said you're not into talking necessarily.
No.
Um,
I'm just in
and
I'm into
I
doing
know,
what's going to help me, what do I need to do, and
I
how
know.
do I need to stay
So,
there, and that's on me.
Janice, I I really want to help you, and that because of this, because I care about your results, I'll be really direct with you right now, really blunt. With all due respect, what the things that you have been into so far haven't been serving you, because otherwise you wouldn't be on a call with me right now,
Oh, okay.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I know you're not the kind of person necessarily that wants to talk about their feelings and how they're bothered um by the weight, but it's not about what you're into or what you're not into. It's more about what works. And from our experience working with thousands of clients so far, every single person who was successful, they all used the what bothered them as a drive and as a fuel to motivate their consistency, to keep themselves consistent. Does that make
Yeah, but
sense?
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, I believe in
do you
that.
see?
You need to have a goal.
Hmm.
You need to have a drive and a reason why you want to do it. I believe in that. I know what mine is. I don't need to
Yeah.
keep talking about it. Like I'm not that type. I don't need to talk about it. Like I know why I want to lose weight, and I know why I want to stay there because I'm.
Hmm. And even if you knew this, right? Like you just mentioned, you've known this for a while. It still hasn't been enough for you to be 100% consistent. So the reason we're talking is because I want to explore other perspectives that you might not be aware of right now that will
Okay.
help you actually be consistent. Okay.
Okay.
And also to focus on what bothers you on that pain. I know it is painful, but that's focusing on that pain, even if it's not comfortable. That's what's gonna help you be consistent.
Okay.
Okay. So now, uh, where were we? So does it make sense now why I'm actually really um, why I really want us to talk about how your weight and how you really hating your belly has been showing up in other areas of your life? Because you mentioned you're worried, which is also really serious. Like I take worry really seriously. So what is it that you worry the most about, Janice?
No, I mean, I worry most of all like this.
Sorry, again, I cannot hear. Your connection is choppy again.
You on speaker mission. I said I worry probably my
Are you
biggest
still
stress.
outside?
Yeah, my biggest stress is probably my kids. I always worry about my kids. I don't know. Maybe that's probably my kids, and like I said,
Okay,
my
I
mother.
meant in
My
terms of
mother.
your weight, because of course you worry about your kids. You know, I'm a
Yeah,
father myself, so of course.
about
But
my
in terms of
weight.
your
What do I
weight,
worry about my weight?
yeah.
I like I
Mhm.
said that I can't. I worry that I guess my biggest worry is if I wasn't to lose it and to keep it down. That's all. I don't I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay. And why does that worry you so much? If
Because
you were actually to keep being in the same loop for the next 10, 15, 20 years.
I want to be comfortable in my clothes and look good, look my best. I don't know.
Okay. So that does that mean that you're not? So does that mean that weight, even now, does that impact the way that you feel and look in your clothes right now as well?
What do you mean that I worry about how I look? I do worry about how I look right now, I guess. Is that what you're saying? I don't.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I look big and I don't like it. It's very, very easy.
Hmm. Okay.
So
And again,
I'm not as interested to get dressed up and go places when I look like I look. Whereas if I look nicer, maybe I'd be more into doing more things, having more,
I see.
you
I
know,
see.
if
I
that
see.
makes sense.
And that makes sense. I noticed you chuckled again there, Janice. I don't mean to be rude or anything. I'm just pointing it out because I want I know you're taking this seriously. I know that's just a way to relieve off some pressure, but I want to point that out because this is actually serious for you as well. So what do you feel you have missed out the most on by not going out, not getting dressed for going out because you weren't comfortable in the way that you look?
I just think it's more things to, my husband and I can go out and do more dates and do more things that make me more comfortable. If I lost weight, I
Hmm.
think I'd be more comfortable to do it. Maybe I'd be more, I don't know, interested in doing it than I am now. I
Yeah.
don't if that makes sense. I don't know. I mean, it's not
What
that we
does
don't
your
do things. We do things, but
I see.
not as much.
What
So
does your husband say when he wants you guys to go out and then you don't want, or like does that refuse even happen?
no, that doesn't really happen. I just, like I said, we don't do much. we don't go out that much. I mean, we go out, but we don't. I don't know. It's not like I'm a real active person. Like we'll go out and do stuff, but
Mhm.
it's not like I want to go out hiking or anything like that. Which maybe if I lost some weight and I felt better about myself, I'd get a little more in shape and I'd want to do more outdoorsy things. You know what I mean?
I see. Okay, so
But
what would you say? What would you say the biggest way you're not going out with your husband? Like, what's the biggest way in which that shows up for both of you guys?
um, I the biggest way. I don't know. I mean, when we do go out, obviously we're closer and have more fun. And I just think
Yeah.
I don't know when we don't. It's not as it's more work, kids. You're not having as much fun, right? I don't know.
Hmm.
Enjoying your life as much, obviously.
Okay. What does your husband say about the fact that you don't go out as much as you used to?
Well, I don't know. We're not really the go out people. I just think we would do it more if I initiated it. He works a lot, so he's
Yeah.
it's a little different, but I think he likes to go do stuff too. But sometimes you have to kind of get him out to do stuff. But I don't do it that much because I don't feel like it. I think I would do it more if I looked better and wanted and felt like it. I don't know. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but so
Can you still hear me?
what?
Can you still hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
I didn't manage to catch what you just said, Janice. I really wanna be able to hear you. Shall we find another time when you're potentially in a different place? Because I do think we
So is that what this is about?
we can help you.
Is coaching just talking about stuff? I don't get what the coaching part of this is. I mean, I don't really understand what all this is. I mean,
Yeah, so the coaching is more about, let me tell you this, because like you noticed, your metabolism has been damaged over the years. The coaching is about not playing the calorie game, only the calorie game where you drop the calories, then it becomes unsustainable, then you get them up again, you get frustrated because you're in the yo-yo effect.
mhm,
And the coaching is really about um, also dropping the weight, but also improving and increasing your metabolism through different nutrition and exercise approaches, right? However, because the we do offer this support, was that something that you're potentially interested in, Janice, where you
mhm,
actually fix the metabolism in a personalized way long term?
mhm.
Okay. The
So
reason I was asking all of these questions is because we do have a metabolism correction protocol where we help you with this. However, I want to make sure that you are really aware of all the how can I say that, all of the benefits, all of the reasons that you're doing this, right? And you're starting, if you want to start it, of course, because I cannot force you. You're starting with the best mindset possible about it. Okay. However, because we keep being interrupted because of your connection, I want us to have a proper conversation where I can hear you from start to finish. Uh, do you want us to find another time where your connection is more reliable?
I really no. I mean, I just was on for like 45 minutes with you, so I don't want to do this again. I this isn't helping me, this part. I mean, if there's certain things I should do nutritionally, fitness wise, when I'm
Okay.
taking these things, like that's great, but I don't need to keep talking about myself. That's not really something that's going to help me personally. I mean, I
Hmm.
know why I'm doing it. I I know what my goals are and I know what to keep me from doing it. That's why I'm trying this, obviously. So it's not like I go and I try things every month or something. I don't do those fruit
I
cleanses,
know.
the
Janice, do you think
detoxes
that
or
if
anything like
you,
that.
sure, do you think that if you kept, really kept being aware of what bothers you every single day, would you be more consistent? Would you be in a better position to achieve your
I
goals?
already know what bothers me every day. Yeah, I think I would be more consistent. It's a mindset. It's just you either want to do it or you don't. Right now, I'm at the point where I want to do it and I want to stick with it, and that's my mindset, and that's why I'm starting this. And I'm trying to do something different, hoping this will help me. Because, like I said, I can do the nutrition, I can work out or walk and do things. I don't have a problem with that stuff. It's more my metabolism. Like things aren't moving as quick as they used to on me. Um,
Okay,
so that's
Janice.
why I thought this was a good fit.
Then
But
sure. I thought you might be a good fit as well, but because you keep, like I said, blaming your metabolism, I don't think you would be a really good fit. But also, I just want us to end the conversation on a really good note. And I can tell you, it's up to you what you do with this information. Then we can part ways as friends. Um, if you so you can think about what bothers you every single day. That's completely possible. However, if you're not actually you know if you're not actually living that pain to actually be driven by it, then it's not going to be enough. So I actually need to go myself, Janice. If you want to find another time to actually think about this, talk about this, then we can talk, okay?
that's
Okay.
fine. I'm not really, like I said, I'm not looking for a therapist. That's
Sure.
not my
Okay.
my way
Bye.
of things. So that's not. I mean, like I said, I know it's on me, and I know it's me that needs to do the work, and me to do the fitness, me to do the nutrition, um, and me to do what I need to do every day. Not, but I don't need to talk about my feelings and be a talking to a therapist every day.
Sure.
It's
This
not
is not
really my
this is not
thing.
therapy.
I mean,
Mhm.
well, you keep asking me about my feelings, and I don't really need to talk about
I
how I
know.
look and what parts of my
It
body I don't like and why. Like that's
okay.
not really. I mean,
No
I
problem,
understand
Janet.
the initial. I know
Yeah.
the understand the initial request, so that you know what your goals are, but I don't need to
Sure.
keep
I wish
talking
you a
about
very
them.
good day then, Janice. Sure.